Madam Speaker,
of the opposition in Parliament to hold a leader of the opposition or a chief whip accountable, cognizant of the need to entrench democratic principles in electing a leader of the opposition in Parliament and chief opposition whip as representative of all members of opposition in Parliament. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Parliament grants me leave, Madam Speaker, I pray, Madam Speaker, to introduce a private member's bill entitled the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill, a draft which is attached here to my motion. So I pray.
Thank you. Do you want to justify your motion?
Yes, Madam Speaker, thank you very much. Madam Speaker, election is the epitome of democracy. Madam Speaker, even the Pope, welcome from the Holy See. As Catholics, I'm a Catholic. There is an election of the Pope, the highest and respected leader in the world. If there is an election there must be an election here. We are in the opposition, Madam Speaker. When we are elected, we came here. By that time, you were not the Speaker. We also elected you, Madam Speaker. The very reason why you are sitting in that seat. We also elect the President. Every 5 years, there is election in Uganda. Therefore, there is no reason when we come to Parliament as members of the opposition, we don't elect our leader, who is the leader of opposition. I want to pray before you, members of Parliament, that it is important that the pillar of democracy, which is election, should actually be done by us, the opposition, who are actually about to take power. So I thank you very much, Madam Speaker. The justification is just clear and right on the wall. We need an election clear in the opposition. Other than that,
there's an order.
Madam Speaker, I feel very sad to put my very, very good friend, Honorable Lumu, on order. Madam Speaker, when you look at the practice and the framers and those who enacted the Parliamentary Act, as it stands now, there are issues embedded as to why the current arrangement in Parliament is working appropriately. Because when you look at the entire structure of the Parliament, we have not had even a situation, for example, in Uganda, where the ruling government elects their chief whips, where we have the prime ministers being elected, or the ministers even being elected. So this motion is trying to present to us, the members of Parliament, is actually very dangerous. So is he in order? Is the mover of the motion in order to even seek leave to do the obvious, which is actually the best practice ever done in Uganda, done in East Africa, done elsewhere, to amend the Parliamentary Act? Is he in order?
Honourable members, the Administration of Parliament Act, the section that is quoting is not entrenched. And the honourable member is just seeking leave. The best we can do, if we are not in agreement with what the honourable member is saying, we follow this to the committee and fail it at the committee or fail it in the House when it comes for the second reading. but we do not have the mandate to deny a member to seek leave. Attorney General, can we hear from the Attorney General? Attorney General.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, Article 82A of the Constitution provides for the office of the Leader of Opposition. It says that under a multi-party organization, under the multi-organization or party form of democracy, there shall be in Parliament a Leader of the Opposition. Clause 2 says Parliament shall, by law, prescribe the following in respect of the Leader of Opposition. A, how he or she is chosen. And I believe Honourable Lumu's motion is on the basis of that. I beg to submit.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, honorable members.
I continue. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I don't know what would be the problem if there is an election in opposition. There is no problem at all, and my brother would not be scared at this time. Now, defects in the existing legislation is what I want to talk about and stop there. Madam Speaker, in July 2005, Uganda transited from the movement political system to a multi-party political system through a national referenda. The adoption of the multi-party system of governance saw the amendment of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda to create the office of the opposition in the Parliament, and subsequently, in 2006, the amendment of the Administration of Parliament Act, Cap 272, to provide for the office of the Leader of the Opposition was enacted. Section 8 of the Administration of Parliament Act, Cap 272, provides for the election of the opposition, the Leader of the Opposition, by the party in opposition to the government, having the greatest numerical strength in Parliament. The rules also say, Madam Speaker, that other parties should be consulted. Madam Speaker, my party has never been consulted on that. Whenever there is a new or the other Leader of Opposition. Section 15 of the Administration of Parliament Act, Cap 272, provides for the appointment of the chief whip by the party in opposition to the government, having the greatest numerical strength in Parliament. This is another leader, Madam Speaker, who is very important on the opposition, who also is not elected. My argument and my prayer is that all those must be elected. I don't want to continue. I want to stop there. But I pray
Thank you.
that leave is granted. I thank you.
Seconda.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Honourable colleagues, for record, I am Salongo Kakembo Mikaili Mboa Tekamwa. I represent the people of Entebbe.
Yes, Honourable Neka Lead, procedure.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, This is a special regional sitting, and the first of its kind in the history of Uganda. And the regional sitting began from northern region. And as such, Right Honorable Speaker, I would really request that it remain a special sitting for northern region. Right Honorable Speaker, I see vividly passionate fights being embedded in the spirit which is well-deserving, much well-arranged sitting, very peaceful. I would love us to proceed in that same spirit of a special sitting. This motion can be raised when we are back at Parliament, not at regional level. Right, Honorable Speaker, is it really procedurally right for us to proceed in this manner, to bring personal vendetta in a special regional sitting? I submit.
Honorable Guang.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. While I appreciate the concern my colleague has raised, Madam Speaker, is it in order for a member to initiate and to begin to think the regional sitting is not a sitting of Parliament? Is it in order to deny members to participate in the deliberations which are prescribed in line with the order paper of the day? Is it in order?
Honorable members, much as we are sitting in a golo, this is a normal sitting. And being a normal sitting, and as I said, let's not act in anticipation. There is no fight. The law is not made for one person. Today, I am a leader of opposition. Tomorrow, another person will be a leader and whatever. But I don't see any fight in this thing. And you can reject when it comes to the second reading. We should not deny a member his right, which is enshrined in the Constitution. Yes, a brief one.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Sarah Opendi, please sit. Please sit. Let's first hear from the seconder.
Right Honorable Speaker, you have guided well, and I want to thank you. Right Honorable Speaker, before I give my small remarks, allow me to convey greetings from the people of Entebbe. And one of whom
Honorable members, we need to move faster so that we adopt the report of agriculture.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
I mean of infrastructure.
Right Honorable Speaker, you have just told us that one of my voter, my resident, is joining us in an hour. Allow me to convey the greetings of the people of Entebbe. In Entebbe, we are cosmopolitan, and we have quite a number of people from the greater north, and I bring greetings to them, and I'm here to represent my people of Entebbe who elected me. I want to say this, that I do not have any personal vendetta. In as far as this motion is concerned, I am convinced beyond reasonable doubt, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, that this move is going to give us more unity as the opposition and respect for each other. Let us vote for our leaders. What's wrong with that? I am standing here to second this motion, Right Honorable Speaker, in good faith. It will help us. It will build us more, because unity of the opposition means strength of the opposition. Respect for each other means what? Because I must participate in electing my leader as the opposition. We have seen it many times in Parliament, where the leader of opposition thinks that all opposition belongs to his party. In this case, it used to be FDC, and all the opposition would see ourselves as FDC, and yet not. You see, because we did not participate in electing the leader of opposition. Now we are seeing a national unity platform. Tomorrow it will be another party.
Honorable Mbwa, we didn't behave like that. I was in FDC.
Yes, I want to thank you that you did not, but I am getting so scared that I see the opposition in a court as if it is only one part. So I want to bring each and everyone on board through this, that come, vote your leader. He will respect you, you will respect him, we shall not have any fight, he will unite us, and by that, it will make us more stronger in the Parliament of Uganda.
Thank you.
I beg to move right.
Thank you. Honourable members, I now put a question that Honourable Lumu be granted leave to introduce a private member's bill, the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2024. Those in favour say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Pursuant to Rule 121234 of the Rules of the Procedure, the clerk is hereby instructed to accord the member a requisite support to ensure that the bill is tabled for the first reading. Next item.
Item number 42, motion seeking leave of Parliament to introduce a private member's bill, the National Transitional Justice Bill 2024.
Further name, the National Transitional Justice Bill. This is one of the bills that came as a petition from the people of Northern region, but I am also aware that the government also has the same bill. So Father Nen can be granted permission, and he works together with the government in processing the bill.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for granting me this opportunity to move a private member's bill entitled The National Transitional Justice System, moved under Articles 79 and 94 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and Rule 120 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament. Whereas Article 79 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda empowers Parliament to make laws on any matter for the peace, order, development, and good governance of Uganda. And whereas Article 94(4)(b) of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and Rule 121(1) of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament permit a member of Parliament to introduce a private member's bill. And whereas Objective 3 of the National Objectives and Directive Principles of State Policy of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda enjoins all organs of state and people of Uganda to work towards the promotion of national unity, peace and stability, and the state to establish and nurture institutions and procedures for the resolution of conflicts fairly and peacefully. Aware that since gaining independence in 1962, Uganda has experienced cycles of violence, political instability, and gross human rights violations, especially during the brutal regimes of Idi Amin and Milton Obote, and during the protracted LRA insurgency in northern Uganda, among other conflicts. Further aware that the different episodes of political instability have left deep scars on the nation's fabric, arising from the severe violence that has claimed countless lives in form of extrajudicial killings, forced disappearances, loss of property, and torture, perpetuating a legacy of fear, mistrust, and impunity. Recognizing Uganda's history of political instability, conflict, and human rights violation, including episodes of violence, ethnic strife, and authoritarian governance. Recognizing that the National Resistance Movement government has made tremendous effort towards resolution of conflict and maintenance of peace and security within the country through attempts such as the Juba Peace Talks, the establishment of the International Crimes Division of the High Court, and the development of the Transitional Justice Policy of 2019. Further recognizing that the efforts of government to foster peaceful reconciliation in the country have been immense. However, there is still need to address the historical wrongs through measures that will embrace accountability, truth, reconciliation, reparation, institutional and legal reforms. Acknowledging the need to heal the wounds of the past and establish accountability for past injustices and build a foundation for lasting peace, justice, and reconciliation. Affirming Uganda's commitment to international human rights standards and the rule of law as enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and international agreements to which Uganda is a party. Convinced that there is need to enact a transitional justice law to operationalize the national transitional justice policy and to address all facets of transitional justice and ensuring accountability, truth-telling, reparations, and reconciliation. Now, therefore, be it resolved by Parliament that this House grants me leave to introduce a private member's bill to provide for transitional justice, and a draft of which is hereto attached, and I will lay it on table.
Thank you.
Do order the publication of the said bill in preparation for its first reading. I beg to move.
Thank you. Seconded. Who is the seconder? Minister of Northern Region, Honorable Chan, and Prime Minister Ivan Ntoroko Nakut, Gabriel Lagen, Tubo, Bunyoro Affairs, Labor, Honorable Nyakun, Honorable Dr. Kaduchu, and Aroboy, Honorable Ichwero, Honorable Gwang. The problem here, all of I've seen Jane there. I have seen Momba. I've seen. That's why it is good, Achia. That's why it is good to sit in our house, because you're not far. I've seen Honorable Baka. I've seen Honorable Court, Honorable Pipi. Is that Pipi? Pipi. I've seen Emmanuel Kelly. I've seen Noya. Yes, I've seen Noya. It is seconded. I've seen Alec. I've seen Tom Bright. I've seen Okirore. I've also seen Basil. And next to Basil, Dr. Boka. Yes, would you just file your bill?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Enactment of a national transitional justice law represents a significant opportunity for Uganda to have an holistic approach to confront its past and build a future grounded in justice, peace, and reconciliation. I therefore ask you and all the members of Parliament and ministers that we use our esteemed offices to advance this critical legislation. This law was badly needed yesterday, but better late than never. Since independence, as I stated in the motion, since 1962, our country has experienced cycles of violence and political instability and gross human rights violations, especially it mentioned during the regimes of Idi Amin and Milton Obote, and worst of its all, during the protracted LRA insurgency in northern Uganda, among other conflicts. So the different episodes of political instability have left deep scars and trauma on the nation. And there is a severe, and most of those who lost their lives actually have never been heard, and justice have never been given them. Right Honourable Speaker, a couple of weeks ago, the ICC convicted an LRA rebel commander, Dominic Ongwen, And the victims of Dominic Ongwen are going to be compensated by the ICC. A few days ago in Gulu, another LRA commander, Koyelo, was convicted by Ugandan's court. But his victims are not going to be compensated. A big contradiction. We need this law so that victims of violence in the future may have opportunity to be compensated, to be listened to, and this cycle of violence to end in this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Father Nen, Attorney General. Please lay.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and thank you to my senior colleague, Father Nen. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, together with the Ministry of Internal Affairs, have worked on the National Transitional Justice Bill. We have prepared the policy, which we presented to Cabinet. We also prepared the principles of the bill. When the principles were presented to Cabinet, there were a few things we agreed to correct, and we returned them to the Ministry of Internal Affairs. And they have just been in touch with the Minister. I'm made to understand they will be ready in 3 weeks' time. Then they will be taken back to Cabinet for approval. Then we can come to Parliament. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, this means that ideally the bill should be in Parliament in the next 2 to 3 months. So the ideal thing to do, without necessarily objecting to Father Nen's proposal because it may be carrying very good issues, he could wait. Once we go to the committee, we can consider his proposals and embed them with those of the executive and have one good law. Thank you.
Honorable Buru.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity. And I want to thank Father Onen. But, Right Honourable Speaker, if you so wish, you could allow Father Onen to further explain the gap in the current legal framework in as far as transitional justice is, because I am failing to comprehend, and I think many other people could be following suit, where there's a gap. Why is he calling for a law? Can't the current law suffice? Right Honourable Speaker, I beg that Father Onen explains to us what is it that is lacking in the current legal framework. I thank you.
Honorable Avur, even Cabinet wants, meaning that it is something that is wanted by both Cabinet and Father Nen. So there wouldn't be need. The best we can do is to make sure that we attend the committee and understand what it is. Honorable Remigio.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this bill, the Transitional Justice Bill, is actually very critical. And our President has been talking about why do we ignore our traditional justice systems? Why do we ignore those traditional justice systems that work like Mato put? We need, this bill will help us to bring those cultures that are positive, that are in consonance with the Constitution, so that the burden of backlog in courts of Uganda are resolved. The issue of bargaining and the visibility of the victims as provided, as it is always in our traditional justice systems, that the victim participates in a resolution of conflict, because our people, our African tradition is that when there is a conflict, you must make good for that conflict. You must restore justice, because you are going to stay with your neighbor. The foundation of this bill is on restorative justice.
Thank you.
In the case of Karamoja, this bill is long overdue, because in Karamoja, we are disposing thousands of cases in the villages without even the need of the courts. That's why some of the courts in Moroto are redundant. I need this bill, the people of Uganda need this bill, the people of Karamoja need this bill. I support it.
Government, Attorney General, we could allow the private member to bring his bill and you take it over when yours is ready. Just like we did with the sports bill. The private member introduced, and when government was ready, it took over, but they worked together in the bill. And you know, these private members help in checking executive. When they bring their bills, that's when now you also work very hard to bring yours.
Right Honorable Speaker, I do appreciate. But however, the procedure is such that once the bill comes, it will go to the committee. And the committee then calls for input from all other interested parties, including the private member. So allowing a private member bring a bill which government is already processing is just a double work, because he can present his views and the views of all other people before the committee. I have given timelines, Right Honorable Speaker, that within 3 months, if this bill is not presented,
3 months?
then, yes, Right Honorable Speaker. I said the principles will be ready within 3 weeks, and that within 3 months, we should already be in Parliament, because we have to prepare the bill, bring it for first reading, and then appear before the committee. If we do not do that within 3 months, Right Honorable Speaker, the private member can be allowed to proceed. I beg to submit.
Nakut.
Madam Speaker, everyone has said that this bill is long overdue. And the minister says that they have been working on it. If indeed they have been working on it, why then would he need 3 months? If indeed they have been working on it, then they can use 2 weeks to harmonize and introduce the bill. I submit, Madam Speaker, that this bill should get the attention that it deserves.
Thank you. Dan, then Richard.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, while I hear the plea of my senior, the Honorable Minister, this matter ought to have happened on average 10 years back for this law to have come up. And now that he gives us 3 months, and he has a volunteer who can do it in 1 month, I would beg I would beg that the Honorable Minister, like NRM encourages volunteers, in a spirit of NRM, he takes it in, and you allow the bill to proceed. We shall be with him in Parliament, where he wants to have the input. We shall all listen and wait for his input. But, Right Honourable Speaker, I would beg that the Minister concedes to allowing that the bill continues. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Richard?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker and colleagues, I stand here to support my colleague, Honourable Nen. Madam Speaker, issues of transitional justice affect all of us. The communities we represent have suffered various cycles of violence, and this is an issue that we should have handled many years ago. While I agree with the minister that they are working on this bill, but the fact that a private member has come up is an indication that government has not done what they ought to have done. If the Minister of Justice is interested in this matter and the Minister of Internal Affairs, let's allow the member to bring his bill and then they work at the pace of the private member. Right, Honorable Speaker, we have seen many instances before when government has promised to bring a bill in 2-3 months, but it takes another 2-3 years. Right, Honorable Speaker, we are in the 4th year of our term, and time is running. Tomorrow government will come with another excuse. Meanwhile, time is going, and the Honorable Nen will be caught up by time. By the time we know it, the term is ending. Remember, Honorable Speaker, the bill will not take 1 week with the committee. So I strongly support and plead with you, Madam Speaker, that we allow our colleague, Honorable Nen, to bring his bill, and then the government can come quickly to work with him.
Honorable members, I'm going to give government 1 month to come with their input on the bill. As for now, we are going to give Honorable Nen leave. Honorable members, I put the question that Honorable Nen be granted leave to introduce a private member's bill, the National Transitional Justice Bill 2024. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. And pursuant to Rule 121, 2, 3, and 4 of the Rules of Procedure, the clerk is hereby instructed to accord the member all the requisite support to ensure the tabling of the bill for the first reading.
Item number 5, motion for adoption of the report of the Sectoral Committee on Physical Infrastructure on the state of transport infrastructure, roads, bridges, railways, and airfields in northern Uganda.
Honorable members, we stood over this item yesterday because we needed an addendum from Karamoja region, and I am reliably informed the addendum is ready. And could we have the addendum presented to form part of the report? Then we adopted the report with all the amendments that were captured yesterday. I just want to inform you that the President will be here in the next 30 minutes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to present the addendum as per the Karamoja region, the discussions related to the infrastructure report of yesterday. Karamoja region identified key roads that need to be included in the report as follows: Moroto Kotido Kabong Karenga Road, Soroti Amuria Abim Kotido Road, Nakapiriprit Amudat Alakas Road, that is rejoining to Kenya, Lokitanyela Loro Amodat Karita Road, Napak Kapelibiong, opening the region to Teso, the rehabilitation of Moroto Soroti Road, Moroto Nakiloro Nakabata Road, opening the region to Kenya, Kotido Loyoro Kabong, Kabong Timu Loitanit, opening the region again to Kenya, Kabong Timu no Kalapata na Wountos, Kalapata Pire, Karenga Bira, opening the region to South Sudan. Abim Napak via Turtuko is an internal road, but very important. Kotido Abim Otuke Alebtong Lira. The region also considered the security and trade roads as very important, namely Kotido Agago, Kotido Karenga, Kotido Nakitongo, that is opening the eastern part of Kenya, Morunyang Majimoto, again the eastern part of Kenya, Nabilatu Katakwi, which is the Magoro Road, Kabong Karenga,